Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be talking about whether or not you should think about doing NaNoWriMo. If you don't know, NaNoWriMo stands for National Novel Writing Month, and it takes place over the course of November, where writers are challenged to write 50,000 words over the course of November. So this evens out to writing about 1,667 words every single day. So it's quite a challenge. So NaNoWriMo is actually a non-profit organisation. There's a website that you can log on to, create an account and track your progress. They've got so many resources for writers on there, from how to build a story, to create characters, work on your plotting and your world building and creating settings. It's really great for finding communities of other writers. They've got lots of different programs and groups. So it is really worth having a look on the website, even if you're not planning on going ahead with the challenge, just to have a look at the resources that they have and to make use of them as a writer. And I'll leave a link to the website down below in the description. So you might be wondering, 50,000 words in 1 month, why on earth would I ever want to do that? And that is a very good question. So when I've done it before, I found the challenge really helpful to just try and meet my writing goals and to push myself to actually be writing every single day and put words down. There's also a big community feel with NaNoWriMo. YouTube is currently filled with videos about people doing it and tracking their progress and showing you their planning stages, videos like this one I'm making right now. You also have so many videos on Instagram and TikTok with writers showing you their processes and keeping you up to date with their word counts. Knowing that there's this huge community of people out there who are also writing and doing the exact same thing that you are can really help and can really make you feel supported, and that there's other people around you doing the exact same thing. So why might you not want to do NaNoWriMo? So what are some things to bear in mind when you're thinking about whether or not to do NaNoWriMo? So first of all, to do 1,667 words every single day is really hard, and it's very likely you're not going to do that and you're not going to meet these writing goals every single day. And as soon as you miss a day, it can be really hard to feel like you're going to catch up, because the next day you've got another 1,667 words to write, not including the ones that you didn't manage to write the day before. And sort of tied onto that, it's really hard just finding the time to write. So I am quite a slow writer. I do need a good 4 hours if I want to write that amount of words, and spending such a long amount of time writing so many words can be really draining, and it's really hard trying to keep up with everything else you need to do every single day, and also this massive amount of words that's constantly plaguing you as you're trying to get through the day, knowing that you've still got to write another load of words. So all in all, it can feel really overwhelming, and if you're already struggling with what you need to do anyway, I would say maybe think about doing it next year, or even try doing the challenge but for a smaller word count. You could challenge yourself to write 10,000 words in the month, or 20,000. You don't need to do the whole 50,000 words if you know at the beginning you're not going to manage it. You might as well just try to turn up every single day and write just 100 words or 50 words, just to get you into the practice of turning up and making that commitment. So I've already started a project. I'm about halfway through a novel. So it's an adult fantasy, so I am looking at writing between 80,000 and 100,000 words in total. I'm currently at about 45,000 words of my draft 1, so I may or may not need the whole 50,000 words before I'm going to end up finishing the first draft completely. I'm setting myself the challenge of I'm going to finish my novel at the end of November. So you can do something like that as well. If you have a project that you're halfway through or you want to start and you know it's probably not going to be 50,000 words, just start it anyway and give yourself that month to finish it. If you're someone who likes to write fan fiction or short stories, just challenge yourself to write a short story every day or a short story a week over the course of the month. You don't need to follow the rules, just make it fit you. So that's sort of one of my first tips and tricks for getting you through NaNoWriMo is to just do it how you want to do it. Remember, it's supposed to be fun. And it's supposed to be for you. You're not doing this for anyone else. Don't put too much pressure on yourself that you must meet the 50,000 word goal and you must win NaNoWriMo in order for it to be beneficial. You can win it in your own way just by either finishing a project or by turning up every day, or even just writing more than you would normally and setting that time aside for yourself. So having said all that about you don't have to do the 50,000 words if you don't want to, and just make sure that you're just doing what's right for you and you're happy with what you're doing, we're going to go ahead and dive into some real tips and tricks for how to actually get through NaNoWriMo. So first of all, I would recommend preparing beforehand. So definitely make sure before the 1st of November, you know what you're going to write. So you're not spending that first day just trying to come up with an idea. So before the 31st of October, make sure you have an idea. Ideally have an outline, or at least know where you're going to start your story. So when it comes to the 1st November, you know where you're going to start and you can get writing straight away. Or again, you can use a work in progress you already have and just concentrate on finishing it or adding some more words to it. So I did mention that you can follow a lot of people on social media and YouTube doing NaNoWriMo. However, with this, make sure that you're not comparing yourself to other people. If you know someone who's tracking their progress and they're hitting the 1,667 words every single day and you just can't, don't worry about it. Don't look at them and what they're doing. Just concentrate on yourself and what you're doing and your writing. Use social media and use YouTube videos as support and as a network and as a community, but don't use it as a way to compare yourself to others. So earlier at the beginning of the video, I mentioned all the resources on the NaNoWriMo website. Do use these. You don't have to, of course, if you don't think they're going to help you. But if you have no idea how to start, especially when you're outlining and planning and creating your characters and your setting and world building and all of those things, there's resources there and they're there to help you. So make sure you have a look. And if you feel like they're going to be helpful, make sure you use them. Of course, if you have a look at them and you don't like them and you don't think that will work with your process, ignore that and don't use them. Just again, do what works best for you. And also track your writing. There is a way on the website to log how many words you're doing every single day, and I would recommend doing that. If you find that you are running behind and logging these numbers isn't helpful and just reminds you of how behind you're running, then it's okay to not log them on the website, but you can keep a little note of how many words you're doing every day. Just remind yourself of how many words you are managing to write every day. Even if there is below 10, at least it's more words than 0. Next, I'd recommend trying to find a writing routine that works for you. Maybe it's best for you to start writing as soon as you wake up. Maybe it's just before you go to bed. Maybe it's in your lunch break, or maybe it's just after you finish work or school. It can be really helpful to block out certain hours that you know are for you and for your writing. Also, you can try taking a little chunks out of the day here and there. So maybe an hour in the morning and an hour in the evening. So you don't feel like you have to write the whole 1,667 words all at once. Of course, you might find that you don't like having a routine and you like to be able to write wherever you are, whenever the inspiration strikes. When you do sit down to write, make sure that you have a drink with you. If you like to have a little snack when you're writing, have a snack with you. Make sure that you're comfortable and you're happy, and you won't need to keep getting up every 5 minutes to get something else. Make sure everything you might need is already with you at your desk or wherever you're sitting to write. It's very likely that you'll be happily writing along and then you can't think of anything and you just can't figure out what the next sentence or the next word is going to be. It might be that you come to sit down one day and you just can't think of anything to write next. In which case, you can set a timer, maybe for 10 or 20 minutes, and try to fill that time with as much writing as possible and see if that helps you get started. If you find you're just sitting at your piece of paper or your laptop or your computer and you really can't get any words out at all, take a break. Just stop, stand up, and have a walk around. Just look away from your writing, clear your mind, maybe just do something else for 5 minutes. Just give yourself a little break. Make yourself a cup of tea, have a biscuit. Also, you could go outside, go for a little walk. It doesn't have to be long. You don't have to use up too much of your writing time. Just go for 2 minutes or 5 minutes. just to clear your mind. And you might find as you're walking around or as you're away from your desk or wherever you're writing, the inspiration comes to you, and you might realize you have a great idea for what's going to come next. If you're sitting at your laptop and you just can't think of what to write, try writing on a bit of paper instead. Try using a new notebook that you might have lying around that you haven't started yet. Or maybe just some scrap bits of paper you don't care about at all, just to start getting the ideas down. You could try using a stream of consciousness technique. Try describing what's in the room around you and not think about your actual project, just think about how you're describing, the words that you're using, how you're forming that prose. If the room that you're in isn't very inspiring, have a look on Pinterest. Find a picture, maybe one that relates to your project, and try and describe it. You can try describing your characters. You can try putting yourself into the mind of your character or your protagonist, thinking about what they're currently thinking and how they're feeling. Try writing a stream of consciousness from their perspective. Of course, none of these things you need to keep and you might not use, but at least they get you into the mindset of writing and they get you into the mindset of your characters. You could try reading a page from your favourite book before you sit down, or a book that's similar to the project that you're writing. You could try reading some poetry, or even start by writing some poetry. Again, just to get those creative juices flowing and to just get you into the practice of sitting and writing, even if it isn't your actual project. You could try taking a sentence from a book that's similar to your project or that inspired your project and completing it and seeing where that takes you. These are just things that help you start writing, so you're not just looking at a blank page having no idea what to put on it. One final tip that I find can really be helpful if I'm really stuck on a particular scene is just make it rain. How does the character describe the rain? How is the way that they're currently feeling and thinking change the way that rain feels? It can just be really helpful to add another layer of descriptions to your scenes, and if you're just really stuck, it can be really helpful to just describe rain for a few sentences before you need to carry on. So those are all my reasons why you might and might not want to do NaNoWriMo this year, and some of my tips and tricks to help you get through the month of November. Do let me know if you're planning on doing NaNoWriMo this year and what you're working on. I'm going to be doing weekly vlogs over November to track my writing, so you'll be able to keep up with me and my progress. Thank you for joining me if you've made it this far, and if you are doing NaNoWriMo, good luck, and I wish you all the best with your writing. I hope you have a very good rest of your day, and goodbye.